I'm thinking about it today, Andrew, because, and I know this one must be personal to you because we both know you sent a wonderful son named Spencer Klavan to Yale. And he's brilliant, but he's brilliant because of you and because of him, not because of Yale. Anyway, so Spencer went to Yale, and Yale is at the epicenter of all this. Yale, Harvard, UPenn, Cornell. And Yale is in the news today for a couple of reasons. Okay, so I want to talk about the campus newspaper. But what's interesting about it is it's Halloween 2023. And Yale was in the news a few years back, same as Evergreen, for this big campus dust-up about Halloween costumes. And again, like the Evergreen thing, it was like I don't know if you can say canary in the coal mine because miners were already going into the mine and dying. It's like it was beyond the canary phase when Brett Weinstein had that thing on Evergreen and when this happened at Yale. But it was closer to the beginning of wokeism and its tidal wave than we are now, where I think we're cresting at the end of this wave. And Yale, just this week, or last week, posted at first a piece in their newspaper. And the question being raised was, is Yaleys for Palestine a hate group? And a sophomore named Sahar Tartak posted a long piece. She was writing about the atrocities and just how awful everything was happening over in the Middle East, writing, "You can imagine my horror to find that Yaleys for Palestine decided the murderers are absolved of their responsibility in an Instagram post that holds, quote, the Israeli Zionist regime responsible for the unfolding violence." And then she went on to say, "Do you know who I hold responsible? The men with guns and axes who killed the children and abducted the grandmothers." She's making the point that, Hamas are terrorists and not to be condoned in any way. She goes through some of the atrocities. Well, then they added an editor's note to Sahar Tartak's piece from the Yale paper. Editor's note, correction, October 25, : "This column has been edited to remove unsubstantiated claims that Hamas raped women and beheaded men." My God. Andrew, this actually got the two people who were the editor-in-chief. I think they were both either editor-in-chief or up there back in 2001, 2002 of the Yale Daily News to respond, saying, quote, "It defies belief that this editorial board would characterize claims of rape during the Hamas attack as unsubstantiated in the face of ample substantiation in major news outlet, and it shocks the conscience that a generation of students who implore us to believe women who allege rape is suddenly willing to disbelieve the evidence of their own eyes when the women raped are Israeli. The hypocrisy is breathtaking. We hope the editorial board will take swift action to rectify this mistake. Chris, Michelle, and Alyssa Friedland." And you could say all the same about the beheading, too. I witnessed with my own eyes. They took it down on X, but I saw with my own eyes a Thai man, a man of Thai descent who was there, and he was writhing on the ground. We're not going to show it. It's just, we've had too much dark. I can't show it. And they took a spade and they hacked away at his neck, trying to chop his head off. And then we were told later that they succeeded. That's just one. We could go down the list. There's been many firsthand testimonials about the beheadings, but the nerve of this paper. So that's Yale. And to go back to the Halloween controversy, again, like we ignore these things at our peril. Like we look at this and shrug our shoulders and say, it's not really a thing. Don't worry about it. Who cares? At our own peril. Hold on. What did I do with the page? Yeah. Nicholas Christakis. He was a Yale professor and he reacted to this ridiculous editorial note, Andrew, saying, "Are the hostage-taking, murder of children in their beds, burning of people alive, and parading of nude captive women in the street also unsubstantiated?" He gets it because he was the professor who, along with his wife, was involved in this 2015 controversy about Halloween costumes. Halloween costumes. He had to fight the screaming mob that was pissed off because he pushed back on Yale mandates on what could and could not be worn. And he said, "I think the students of Yale can be trusted to make their own decisions about Halloween costumes, which resulted in a now infamous several, I think 2-hour-long exchange on campus with the students screaming at him for his insensitivity. We have some of it in SOT 22.
The exception is because other people have rights too, not just you.
Walk away. An unsafe space here for
I
all.
did
Stay
not.
quiet. It is your job to create a place of comfort and home for the students that live in Silliman. You have not done that. By sending out that email, that goes against your position as master. Do you understand that? Then
No, I don't agree with that.
Then why the fuck did you accept the position?
Because
Who
I have
the
a
fuck hired you?
I have a different
You
vision
should
than you.
step down. If that is what you think about being a master, you should step down. It is not about creating an intellectual space. It's about creating a home here. You are not doing that.
You're supposed to be
going
our
against
advocate.
that. You should not sleep at night. We're out. We out. You are disgusting.
Amazing. Disgusting, they called him. And these same campuses now can't bring themselves to acknowledge beheadings, rapes, or even in the appropriate terms to condemn Hamas's atrocities.
You know, one of the things I think we all have to understand about cancel culture, about woke culture, about its predecessor, political correctness, about shout down culture, which you just showed an example of, is that they're all the same thing. They all mean the same thing. They mean shut up. Don't say it. You can't talk about abortion because you don't have a womb. You can't talk about black people because you're white. You can't talk about this because you're that. Whatever it is, it always translates to shut up. And the reason you have to shut up is because nothing they say is true. Everything they say is a fantasy created to acquire power, to create the idea that they are somehow going to create heaven on earth. Everything they say is about shutting you up. That's why suddenly cancel culture doesn't exist, because they don't want to shut themselves up. There's always this hypocrisy. And it's worked because people don't like to be despised. People don't like to lose their footing on social media. People don't want to be called down to HR and said they're not, and told they're not using the right pronoun. Women on the street can't even answer the question what a woman is because they're afraid. And the fear is the point. The shut up is the point. Nothing else is the point. And the reason is they haven't got the goods. They are not talking about reality. They can't prove their points. You scream at someone like that, which, by the way, I think should be an expulsion offense. You should be tossed out of school instantly for saying that. You should have to sign a document saying you'll be tossed out if you ever speak to an adult in that fashion. But the whole point of it is silence. The whole point of it is silence, because otherwise they have to face themselves. It's the same reason they tear down the posters of kidnapped people. Do not show the reality. The same reason they overturn, pictures of abortions, throw them away and burn them, because you cannot look at what it is. You're not allowed to speak the truth.
Did you know that poor sleep can cause weight gain, mood issues, poor mental health, and lower productivity? Sleep is the foundation of our mental and physical health and performance in our days. Having a consistent nighttime routine is non-negotiable. Introducing Beam Dream. Love that. Beam Dream. Today, my listeners get a special discount on Beam Dream Powder, their best-selling healthy hot cocoa for sleep with no added sugar. Now available in delicious seasonal flavors like sea salt caramel and white chocolate peppermint. Better sleep has never tasted better. A recent clinical study revealed Dream helped 93% of users wake up feeling more refreshed. Just mix Beam Dream into hot water or milk, stir or froth, and enjoy before bedtime. If you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, take advantage of their biggest sale of the year and get up to 50% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/MK. Use code CYBER at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/MK. Use code CYBER for up to 50% off your order. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.